All But Blind by Walter de la Mare, 1873 to 1956. All but blind in his chambered hole gropes for worms the four-clawed mole. All but blind in the evening sky the hooded bat twirls softly by. All but blind in the burning day the barn owl blunders on her way. And blind as are these three to me, so blind to someone I must be. Okay, this poem is by Walter de la Mare. Let's see, he was famous for his poetry, for his children's literature, for supernatural fiction as well. Let's see, he came from southeast London, and he was educated at St Paul's Cathedral School. His father was somebody important in the Bank of England. He also actually worked for Standard Oil for a while, but he's most famous as a poet and for children's poems. So what's this about? Well, look at the title, All But Blind. And this phrase, all but blind, is repeated in the beginning of each stanza. All but blind, it says almost completely blind. And I think this poem is talking about the blindness in people, but not physical blindness. It's talking about intellectual blindness. Yeah, it's maybe about the difference between the appearance of things and what they really are. Yeah, it's saying that everybody is blind in one way or another. And he gives the examples of three different animals, the mole, the bat, and the owl, and he says that they are all blind to something. But he then says he also is blind to different things. And I think there's a lot of irony here in the fact that everything is blind to something. Okay, so everybody or everything has their own blindness, and whether or not we have eyes to see, there are things that we can't see. So, all but blind in his chambered hole gropes for worms the four-clawed mole. So this is about the mole who has great difficulty seeing, and he lives in a hole under the ground, and he gropes, he looks for worms, and he's got four claws, yeah? But I think here, in his chambered hole, this is talking about a certain class of men who live in a world that is closed in, yeah? And I think maybe their thoughts are like the thoughts of a mole, and they can see in their own little area, but they can't see the world outside them. And this is criticizing intellectual blindness. All but blind in the evening sky the hooded bat twirls softly by. So this is about the bat, and the bat in the evening sky. We even have the phrase as blind as a bat. So the bat in its element in the evening sky is moving about, and it's using sonar and location to find things. But the bat itself is also blind to other things. Yeah, so the bat is avoiding contact with other people. They're finding their own way of living. But again, the bat is blind to many, many things. So somebody who is always out in society, doing their things, there are things that they see. Maybe some people who are part of the evening society, but they are also as blind as the bat. All but blind in the burning day, the barn owl blunders on her way. So, okay, this is now a barn owl, and this animal can see very, very clearly at night. The owl can see clearly at night. The owl, twit, ooh. But during the day, the owl can't see anything, and it blunders, it crashes into things, it doesn't know what it's doing. So again, here the owl is someone who can see very clearly in a certain context, but there are other contexts that they cannot see anything at all. And I think maybe the owl, it avoids the daylight. And avoiding the daylight, this might be people who avoid the truth or avoid reality and see very clearly within a world, but only within their own world. Also notice in this stanza, all but blind, the burning day, the barn owl blunders, b, b, b. And this is a good example of consonants, repeating of these B's. And blind as are these three to me, so blind to someone I must be. So although these three animals have their blindness, also therefore it's very clear that there are things to which I am blind. And it's very clear that somebody else must see me blind in certain contexts. There are things that I just can't see. There are, and everyone suffers from blindness to certain things. There are certain things that we don't understand. And here it's effectively a simile saying that my blindness is the same as the blindness of the bat and the owl and the mole. But I must have a blindness as well, a weak spot, something that I cannot see. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. All But Blind by Walter de la Mare.